my name is Annette Lawler, founder Lion People Global. Welcome to the next episode of LT Talks, Localization Talent Talks. Today we're here at Gala in Munich and my guest is Massimo Ghislandi. Hi,
hello.
Massimo. How
Hi,
are
Annette.
you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Fantastic. Massimo, you're heading up sales for SDL.
Yeah, and marketing.
And marketing. And that's your background actually. It was marketing first and then sales, which is quite unusual.
Quite unusual, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I started off with a marketing set of role outside the translation industry.
Okay.
And then over time, I have moved on to sales as well.
Okay.
Which is
it's unusual. Yeah. I mean, especially in this industry, I think, so many people came from, if we look at the career pathing, they came from maybe a client-facing project management position into sales, like maybe account management first and then into a hunting position. But you have a unique perspective, having come from the marketing inside to move into sales. Do you find that it helps you?
Yes, in some ways. I suppose I don't come from the translation industry.
Yeah.
I am not a translator.
Okay.
I happen to speak a language,
Okay.
which we know is not enough to be a translator.
Yeah.
But at least it helps me understand
Okay.
what this industry does. I think so. At least being bilingual, or sort of bilingual, helps.
Okay.
I think marketing helps because it's a fairly broad discipline, and often marketing touches different parts within an organization. And so I think in that respect, it gives you quite an interesting base to see different parts of a company.
Okay.
Because often you need to interface with whoever is making the product, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a piece of software, whether it's a service.
Okay.
You often have to deal with sales, you have to deal with management, because marketing spends money. And so sooner or later, your boss or your boss's boss will knock on your door and ask, why are you spending this money? What's the ROI? You have to work with finance. And so in that respect, I think it's fairly broad compared to perhaps other roles within an organization. So in that respect, I think it's quite a good base.
Yeah. And so you mentioned that you didn't come from a language background, translation background, apart from speaking another language. How did you come across this industry? How did you discover it?
By accident, I suppose. The true story?
Yeah, the true story.
The true story is that I was working for a completely different business that was manufacturing things and international. So there was that aspect, and I certainly have suffered with translation. Being in marketing, in an international role, I had translation issues. Okay. Especially with some languages more than others. And so I was aware of translation and so on. And then I was looking for jobs. I wanted to get out of manufacturing. I live in the UK, although I'm Italian, and manufacturing hasn't had a great ride, I would say, in the UK. And so I thought, I need to get out. I need to be somewhere else. I need to be more in a service industry. And I started to look around. It's not always easy to change industry after you've been working 10 years in sort of technical manufacturing companies. And so this job came up, and I guess I ticked a few boxes for the international background, speaking a language, and they offered me a job, and I thought, oh well, I'll take it. So it was a bit casual. I wasn't determined, but if you look at my roles, they were all fairly disjointed. They were engineering firms doing various different weird and wonderful bits, nothing fancy, but that's...
And you ended up here.
Yeah.
And so now you're hiring talent. I would imagine you're hiring people for your team and stuff. Do you think, because one of the things that we get as a staffing company in this industry is they want to hire, lots of hiring managers want to hire people from the industry. And I'm always of the belief that if you can sell, right, in particular in sales. Do you think that we need to have people from the industry, or do you think we would benefit by maybe taking some folks that maybe have verticalized experience in something like life science, if it's regulated or whatever? Is that something that you believe, or?
Yes. Personally, obviously, having been at the receiving end of oh, well, you don't know this industry. When I've been looking for jobs in the past, I certainly have been there and I always felt, I'm doing marketing. I'm not trying to send a rocket into space where I need to have the very specific skills, or I'm not trying to be a brain surgeon where I couldn't really fudge that. But marketing, you could learn, and as long as you got a base, I think you can transfer it. So I believe in transferable skills. So that's a belief.
Okay.
I think there is some benefits when we recruit people in terms of learning. When you hire somebody from the industry, it can be quicker to train them. But by the same token, sometimes, as you just say, if you are hiring a salesperson, sometimes we have project managers background that wants to become sales, and actually you do need to teach them quite a lot of sales skills. Or sometimes you do have people who come with a sales background, and you do need to teach them about the localization industry. We rarely find people in our scenario that come selling, especially in my part of the business, which is translation software.
Okay.
We either get people who know software or people who know localization. We've got very few that come ready-made.
With both. Yeah. So there is an element.
So
of
we
that.
have to be open-minded.
You have to be open-minded. And so what advice would you give to people that are thinking about this industry? Do you think it's a good place for them to come? How would they get involved? How would they get started?
So I've been in this industry now for 12 years, which is the longest job I've had. So I have liked this industry. I find this industry interesting because it's international, because you do get the opportunity to work with lots of people with different backgrounds, and I think language is interesting. So although I'm not a linguist, I've again, being a foreigner living in a country, I've learned the value of language, and so I find it an interesting topic. So I think it's a good industry to come in. It has been growing for the last 10 years. It's actually fairly recession-proof. 2007, 2008 financial market crisis, actually translation didn't really take a huge knock. It's not been explosive growth, I guess. It's been more of a 5-10% growth, but it has been a fairly solid. It's been a fairly solid growth industry, so it is a good place to be in that respect. And in terms of advice, wow, this is tricky. I think first of all, find a company that you feel like you can fit in.
Yeah.
I think also when we try to recruit, it's of course about the skills, but you also think, is this person gonna like working here? Are we gonna like this person? And so I think it's important that you do try to figure out whether wherever company you're going for is gonna have something that works for you.
And I guess that's a common thing regardless of industry. You need to work with like-minded people. But fantastic, Massimo. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today in this busy conference. So there you have it. The localization industry is a great place to be for fantastic careers. Please like, share and tweet and join us in the localization industry. I'm Annette Lawler. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, Annette.
Thank you.